So, what do you think it takes to create longevity in one's career?
Longevity in one's career. This is wow. I could say that when you're oh God, where to even begin? You start out, get a little bit of attention, and then you always hit that kind of now what? I've hit my goals, and a lot of it is just set a goal and another goal and another goal and another goal and just keep smashing them, and then yeah, it's as far as longevity also goes, try to make some music that's timeless. Try to get outside of your box. Try to do things. I hate to borrow that very bad cliche at this point, but if you do kind of get something that feels like it's growing a little bit larger, then things happen. I mean, when, like, for instance, we have this tune like Middle of the Night and Flipside, people still talk about those tunes, and that's just like amazing. And to think that here's like 10, 12-year-old tunes that people still talk about, like that's kind of what you want to go for. Or also like some of our other stuff that's non-traditional, or just like more down tempo or weird, like electronic music, like maybe we'll dance tomorrow. Like that was like our closer for our LP, and people still, a lot of folks talk about that, and that tune had a lot of meaning to all of us as well, because it's like that another tune that was really cool, came together pretty easy, and yeah, it was, sometimes that's also good. Just and of course, persistence at the end of the day, like just keep hammering at it. Like that's a very also a very important thing to do.
So, since you've had a lot of experience in this industry, what is something you've seen change that has helped shape the scene into a positive light?
Okay, this is one that's a hard question to answer, but I think, and I'm going to speak from the music production side of things. I remember back in the day, like you remember when like AIM was a thing, right? You'd get sent these tunes, and their kids sometimes send you stuff where they literally had no idea what they're doing. I now find that most people, the bar for music production seems to have really raised and elevated, and a lot of it is just the tools that are available. So I'm really stoked to see, and to me, I think that's a positive thing that more people could, like go out and buy a computer and, get a bunch of software and then just start making music and not run into a wall. Like when, I started, I'd hit the sampler wall. You had to have this expensive, at least $3,000 sampler. And now, no, that's included in my DAW. Like I'm good to go, like, and then it's just, you can knock out a tune, and it's only as deep down the rabbit hole as you want to go. I mean, this also goes back to like YouTube. You can like learn stuff now that used to, like, we'd read our computer music magazine, and that was kind of that. And whatever we could get imported from England, because very few people posted that much detail over here in certain programs. So yeah. And so now I think that's positive. It's good stuff, I think, for the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you mentioned that, because I've seen a lot of producer groups where they're helping out and they're giving feedback on tunes.
Yeah.
And you're seeing artists get so much better at making music because they're actually figuring out, okay, I can improve on this or I can improve on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is, and it's also, yeah, people hit me up, and if I have time, I try to listen to music. It's always, sometimes, I mean, like, I feel kind of, I've been delinquent on like even checking my promos. Like my email is a disaster right now. But I have to go through at some point. I usually always try to do it and just listen to almost everything I can. And yeah, same thing goes for like people, writing on Facebook or whatever. Like I and you want to give honest feedback and all that, and just hope that people can take it. They're not going to be mad if you're telling them, trying not to take a sledgehammer to their heart, but at the same time, you want to help them get better.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were talking earlier about how making music is like 10% of the work. And then there's the marketing.
Yes.
Talk to us about marketing.
Okay, so I do think this is one of those things that I struggle with, that I really do wish that there was more emphasis put on music these days. But all that being said, it is still really important to get out there and get your music heard. There is at any stage of the process, like one thing, we were doing for a while was basically hacking Facebook algorithms with, memes and shit, was like, but at that point you start to think, I'm like, am I a professional comedian or am I a musician? And that's like, if anyone wonders why we stopped, there you go. I got to the point where I was sick of automating 3 posts a day, and it felt like it's fun to play that game. It is funny when people comment on the page like, oh, I miss when you'd post like memes and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I hope that you don't miss that we're making music. And then there's like a lot, even if you're just sending funny stuff back and forth with your friends, there's still some point where like, okay, shit, I'm doing this many posts a week, I need to go find more content. And then if you feel like you're going down that, again, it's like you get distracted from the music process. But yeah, engaging people and doing a lot of that. We've been a bit quiet lately on our social media all around, but again, it's like once music gets ramped up and releasing again, of course things are going to shift and we're going to be doing the usual hustle. Don't think we'll be memeing though, so unless something's really good.
Well, one thing that I've really enjoyed about you guys, especially yourself, because like I've met you at multiple shows throughout the years.
Yeah.
And you have a personal connection with people. And I think that's so wonderful, because we talk about marketing and advertising and networking, but like you actually connect with people, like you're saying, engagement. And I feel like that is so incredibly important, because people, yeah, they look up to these artists, but are these artists like treating people like other, like human beings when they're out?
Yeah, and that's funny you mentioned that, because I mean I've joked about it. It's like, yeah, you catch somebody in the wrong night, and if they're wasted or something, and that's like, or blacked out, like, I mean, that's always like my personal horror story. I'm just like, oh man, I don't remember getting home last night. Hopefully I didn't make too much of an ass out of myself, and that kind of thing. So but yeah, I mean, God, like I joke about this, like I've hid backstage, or or in the crowd, talking about like music production with someone like all night and then forget about it. and I'm like, but if somebody like learns more from that, and they take it, and it goes forward, then that's a good thing at the end of the day. It helps the musical paradigm shift forward. And somebody might have heard something from me, if I'm nerding out about production, that they're going to take, and it's going to help them get better. That's cool. I mean, at the end of it, like kind of what I think. So yeah, it is good to be personable. And again, like some people have bad nights. I have like friends of mine who were really cool when I met them, and then I heard other people just be like, oh man, that guy was an asshole, like, and I'm just like, really? I was like, he's totally cool the time I met him. So you sometimes don't know, but I do think that I do agree, like you have to definitely do your best to be personable and engage fans and all that.